is Monday, the 15th of June. And if you haven't heard already, the UK government has proposed something quite radical, that meaning young people aged 16 and under, or under 16, in 2027 will possibly be banned from using YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and gaming and online services. And if you're aged between 16 and 18, you'll be on restricted hours of usage. I want to know what your reaction is. I have my own personal reactions to this. I can see both ways and both sides quite easily as a teacher and a parent. I'm very diplomatic about this. And I want you to know that I am going to be releasing a video this coming week in support for parents and kids who are going to have to no longer use the apps if it happens. Because my other opinion is that there will be a reaction from YouTube, there will be a reaction from TikTok and Instagram, and there's a reason it's not happening in 2 weeks' time, and a reason it's not happening next week or in a month's time. I think this gives the three big name platforms a chance to talk to the government and sit down. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. But I'd love to know what your opinion about this is. It really matters to me. I've built a whole channel on this amazing platform, which I feel YouTube is one of the best platforms to do social media on. I see some real positive to YouTube, and I've got loads of people. Obviously, I'm sadly going to lose. I stand to lose about 20%, 25% of my audience, which is a huge, huge age range. And that's deeply sad because I know the content I do is fun, it's family friendly, it's educational, it's supportive, and I'm sad. However, I do understand why this is happening as well. And as a parent, I get that. I get it. So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But it's not really about my opinion because let's be honest, my opinion isn't the big thing. I'm not being banned. What is sad is young people who genuinely love using the app and do it for good reasons and for lots of the benefits that YouTube has, from tutorials, from my daughter, for instance, she absolutely loves baking. So she'll look at a trend and go, I'm going to make this tonight. Or my son who said, actually, I need to learn how to draw a picture. And YouTube shows how to do that. I'm not an artist. So there's many benefits. And that's just touching the surface of the iceberg here and all that. But it's not about what I think. What I'm interested about is what you think. My followers, my subs. What is your opinion about this? Just remember, be fair. If someone's got an opinion, let's accept it. We go, okay, and let's be nice. Because there are going to people who are going to have mixed opinions about this. It is going to cause a real woomph on this subject. So I'm going to read the comments as much as I can tonight. What do you think of the proposed idea? Do you like it? Do you not? What would your alternative idea be? A lot of people saying, could you change the age range? Could you change the apps? You know, YouTube has loads of restrictive ways in which you can safely use online. But do your parents know about this? Is this a conversation you can have with your parents? So let's get into it. Let's get into this. I've rabbited on enough. I've given you different types of chat I could go down there. So yeah, let's do it. For those asking what's happening, the UK government has put into a place to ban a block for under 16s from social media, and it goes into place next year. Yep, spring 2027. Thank you for that comment. Anyone's a bit confused, that is what's happening in the news. This is another thing. You guys should be knowing what's going on in the news. You really should. And I always say this. You know, YouTube has links to all BBC, Sky, and Channel 4 and all those news outlets. It's good to know the news. This is why we talk politics. And everyone goes, politics is boring and all that. It's not. This is politics. You are affected by this and you should have a say. Will you have a say? Is there a petition? There is a way to petition against this. Here we go. Well, for your local MP. I do not like this either because of social media. It's still important for children and it's pointless. You can go to your parents. Yes. So this is an interesting one. You can ask your parents to set you up. I think that opens up a whole new interesting outlet of, could I use the phone, but my parents have a real idea about I'm watching? Could you just watch it on the TV? YouTube is fantastic for watching on TV. It's a great shared experience that you could have with your parents. And that's going to be in my advice video as well. You see, I'm a person who understands why people are doing this, but here's my not a counter argument. Here's my way of saying, well, actually, is a clever way around this. So you don't lose the fun stuff of YouTube and you get your parents involved. Show them tonight what you watch. if you want to. And if you aren't going to show them what you want to watch, and maybe you've been watching things you probably shouldn't, show them who's your interested creators, who you like. Open up your world to them and say, this is what I like doing. I like this kind of trend. I like doing dance moves and stuff like that. Your parents used to do the same thing, listen to radio. It's no different. So open up the conversation with your parents. This is a great thing to do. I think there is giving the right idea, but I don't. But I do think you should be able to watch YouTube on your phone or iPad, and I think they should have a different restrictions for different apps. Yeah, I can see a lot of people saying that. I think if parents had more understanding about what you guys are watching, I think it'd be good. What do you think about time limits? Do we need to be on social media for more than 2, 3 hours? In my opinion, perhaps not. It wouldn't be a healthy thing to do. But I think when I was a kid, I used to come home and watch TV for at least an hour to 2 hours. Then I'd do my homework, have some dinner, talk to my family around the dinner table, and then we watch some TV again together. That's the difference. We used to watch it together, and I think there lies the problem. But we can watch YouTube stuff together if we do that with our parents. So I think it's a good conversation with your folks to have over the next 6 months if you're going to need to do it. I just think that they shouldn't be handled more carefully as a choice. Interesting. It limits how children want to build careers in content creation online, which sucks, as the government just want people to go into normal jobs. Well, look, Gabe, there's a lot of young people on here who are content creators. I actually met a very successful young content creator at a charity. That was at Amber's Army. Big up Amber's Army. Now, he stands to lose everything. He would stand to lose stuff for a while unless his parents run the account, which I think they do. So perhaps I don't know how that works. If he's allowed to do that, I don't think so. So it's going to be an interesting way forward for some people. But look, studies are important. Having a main job is important. I have a full-time job. I do this as what I'd call a side hustle. I love doing this, but it isn't my full-time job for these kind of reasons. It's stupid how people can vote when they are 16, but they are banned from so. Yeah, in some places, a lot of people are saying the argument about vapes. They were saying, how come vapes haven't been banned, but this is? I thought it's actually a really good argument, a really interesting point. Like, there are worse things happening. Vapes, yeah, it's an interesting thing. Very interesting. My friend has an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and I heard about the ban and asked my friend, and apparently they, not the 2-year-old, doesn't really care about the ban. There you go. So some people are not bothered by it. There is that thing of it doesn't really bother me, you know. It doesn't affect me, and that's absolutely fine as well. If it doesn't bother you, then everything's a okay. It might not. What other people say? I'm reading the comments. If you do super chat, I will definitely read out your comment. If you don't, it's fine. I will try my best to read it. It goes so quickly. I'm using my dad because your dad's account, as I have a YouTube channel. Using my dad because I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I totally hear that. A lot of people are doing the same thing. A lot of people are doing the same thing. And again, because you have your folks involved, they can keep an eye doing the channel. I think that's a positive thing. The thing is, parents would probably do the age verification for them. I mean, there's a reason kids are even online. It's because the parents allow them to, therefore, parents would just differ. That is the thing. You cannot just tell kids who have been used to social media for so long, say, that's it, you're coming off. It's like for some people, for, going through, oh, I've got really used to that. I built up a community. I do gaming. I do this. I do that. It's a big thing. And just saying, right, we're just getting rid of that. It's like saying to your millennial parents when we were young, right, no more TV. Huh? No TV. You can watch with your parents, but when you come home from school, no TV, no gaming, that's a big thing. That would have been a big thing for us. So we get it. I get it. You can't just go right off you come. You've got 6 months if it's happening to wean yourself off it a little bit. Take out the hours a little bit more. So that's going to be in the advice video as well. That is a really good point. Google One, UI, Apple, and even YouTube have their own tools to stop screen time. Yes, they do. This is the thing. This is the other thing. There's so many arguments where they said people have too much screen time. YouTube has restrictive things of doing this. Tell your parents about the benefits that YouTube can do. It has ways in which it can restrict the time. It has ways to restrict content. It has ways in which parents can see what the kids are watching, all on the app. YouTube has been doing this for a very, very long time. Parents don't know this. And if you sat down with your parents, maybe at the weekend, and even say to them, look, I've just heard about this ban. This is how I feel, but can I talk to you about YouTube and what I like doing on YouTube and how you can see what I do and restrictions? That is the conversation we should be having. That's definitely the conversation we should be having from this. Not, oh, I need you to give me a verification thing. That's not going to work. All right. So yeah, let me know. Will that work? Are you going to talk to your parents about this? I think you should. I really think you should. Even though I don't live in the UK, I'm going to lose at least 3 of my friends due to this. I fear that I will lose access to the internet in my country. Does that the same? So if you're in a different country like France or Germany, it's not been banned. If you lived in Australia, it has. So you wouldn't lose your account. But your friends might not be able to contact you. It's a really tricky one. It's a really tricky one. And that's another thing people need to consider. There are people who've made online friends. It is a big thing. And we're talking friends who are actually legit that age, that person you've had chats with. It's like a pen pal, right? That's a big thing. Oh, you can no longer talk. There are other apps, of course, and you might have to navigate that. But again, you would need to bring your parents involved with this stuff. You can't just go, well, I'll just give them my number. So there's lots to think about. How do you feel about YouTube being banned for under 16s? Thank you for retweeting the question. Retweeting? Reposting my question there. I really appreciate it, guys. I do drama, so I wouldn't be able to learn the dances because my director sends them on Facebook and WhatsApp. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. See, this is the benefits of YouTube. Tutorials, dance routines, art ways in which you draw. The, there's massive things about this app, which I absolutely love. It's so educational. It's brilliant, YouTube. And I'm gutted for some people under 16. I really am. My other big issue is there's a lot of people who can't afford a tutor, whose parents work day and night and they cannot have the time to sit down with their kids for more than half an hour because they've got other things going on, they've got other jobs. You've got the parents who don't understand those questions. And crikey, sometimes I get caught off by my girls and my boys' homework. Now, I'm not saying YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, they're going to give the answer. I'm not saying that. But they do have people, teachers, hello, who actually do free tutorials live on the internet. And that's gone, possibly. And that's a massive shame. And that is a big thing. That's a drawback. So arguments there are left, right, and centre. I'm loving this. This is a good chat tonight. Is anyone actually for the ban? It'd be nice to hear your opinion as to why you would think it's good. I'm going to say this though: if you're a person who's hit 18, 19, I'm not gonna cluck into it as much because you're gonna be like, well, I'm safe. I'm safe. I read a lot of comments today. I thought, yeah, I get that, but what about people who are not? And how would you have felt? How would you felt? Okay, so let's get into it. I find the ban pretty weird because there are loads of under 16s on YouTube, which would mean YouTube would lose a lot. There is that. YouTube does stand to lose that. YouTube know that. You know, what's this mean for YouTube? Are YouTube going to go, right, if this is the case, we'll all go? You know, what's YouTube's reaction? I'm very interested in how YouTube are going to react. I'm going to be looking on the web all this week for Instagram and TikTok's reaction. I think out of all the three, YouTube has got a lot more educational content. And that's a tough one. That's a tough one for YouTube. But again, they have great ways of restricting things. So that's the bit I'm a little bit like, I'm not sure. I think it's more of a blanket ban. It's like, well, I don't know. I hate the ban because my YouTube videos, I post my Roblox. Yes, a lot of people like posting Roblox videos. I get that. There are other ways you can be creative. You can still make content. You can still make videos through your family. If you had your parents look at what you're making, that doesn't have to stop. Your parents could have an account. You could call it Roblox Plus or whatever you want to call it. That was an awful name. I do apologize. Anyway, Roblox Plus, right? And you can post those videos under your parents' account. But again, they're then part of it. They're getting the notifications. They're seeing what's going on. They're seeing the comments. They're seeing the videos, the likes, and all that. So that's good if they're involved. But that's only going to happen if they're involved. Conversations need to happen with your parents this week. I tell you, they are bigger problems worrying children. Are year 7 showing up to school? Wow. And year 10's dealing with, yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Red Panda Lover, I think there are bigger issues in the world, but there are a lot of parents who've unfortunately had some issues with kids using it in a negative way. We have to respect them. If you look at the BBC article today, you have to respect that. You really do. It's quite sad what's happened to quite a few young people and some very sad stories, very tragic stories. And I respect those parents. There's no way I could turn around saying, well, you're wrong, because I wouldn't. I get why they're fighting their way. But bless you, great comment, and I appreciate it. We have a super chat. That is fantastic. Fantastic. Um, Carl, I'm going to say Carl. Carl. As an 18-year-old, now this is what I'm interested in. As an 18-year-old, thank you, Carl, so much, by the way, for the super chat. Guys, let's smash the likes for Carl. Let's get the likes. If you use super chat, I am all over your conversation. You're getting my attention big time. In the middle comments, yes, I will do as much as I can, but I'm all over it. Here we go. As an 18-year-old with a 10-year-old sister, this will be interesting. I know how social media can um, Ivyly affect. Right, young people. Yes, how it can affect young people. I found refuge on Reddit, especially exams and YouTube. And there is the issue. That's my big issue. YouTube is one of the good ones in that sense. For that exact reason, you're going to miss out on those exam prep things. A lot of people are saying, well, you can't use it to get the answer. No, we know that. But there are so many ways you can get tutorials on YouTube. It's been going on for years, YouTube. Um, and I feel like the long form side of YouTube is absolutely brilliant in that sense. You can still get stuff from shorts, but I totally agree with you, Carl. Great for you for Reddit. I don't know if Reddit's not in the list. I don't think it's not in the list, but we don't know how far this is going to go. I personally think YouTube is going to go right. We're going over to Britain. Let's bring our people. Let's sit down with the Prime Minister. Let's talk to the Minister of like social media and IT and whatnot. What it's called. I do apologise for getting that wrong. And education. Maybe Bridget Phillips is involved as well. And we need to talk about this because I don't think for the 6 months they're going to sit quietly on this one. Carl, fantastic point. YouTube, great for that. Yes, that's fantastic use of super chat. There you go. Thank you, Carl. And good luck to your sister. Conversation with parents is definitely going to need it there. Yeah, the ban is good. Here we go. Acting mask, Marcus. We've got a different side of the opinion. I like it. Yeah, the ban is good because I'm turning 16 in December, like a few months before the ban, and less annoying kids on the internet. Now, that is interesting. That is a good point. Now, I did talk about this a minute ago. You're turning 16, so you're kind of like, fine. You're still going to be restricted, though. Okay, so you need to read the article. If you're between the age of 16 and 18, the proposed, and I'm doing this because it's not happening yet, it's in September, sorry, it's in spring 2027, is when they're going to roll this out unless things change, which I think they might. Spring 2027, if you're between the ages of 16 and 18, you'll have a restricted amount of scrolling time. So you are affected by this. However, what I'm interested in is the less annoying things. Yes, you do get a lot of people find things like that quite annoying online, young people. And again, it's young people not knowing how to use the app and speaking and saying nasty things, ruining it. But you get adults do the same thing as well. But I do get your point. It can be quite irritating. Do you think, hopefully, YouTube won't be banned? I feel like YouTube's one that could overrule this one if they go down a route by showing Keir Starmer and maybe other people that exactly how the app is safe and restrictive. It'll be interesting because it's very educational and people use it, for example, how to draws, math, science, and more lessons that can be helpful. See, this is the conversation that we need to push towards the government as well, where we say, look, this is what young people think. This is from you guys. You guys are saying this as well, as much as I agree with it as well. There are negatives. None of you have gone down the negative road. Very pro. No, I want to keep it. No one's saying, yeah, no, I agree. We should not. But they are hard to argue there. That's so good about how to do things. Is on YouTube. But again, if the ban took place, you could still tell your parents all about this. Show them the content that you're interested in. Show them the creators that you like. Show them the hobbies and habits you like doing, and they'll have an interest and might be able to find something for you, or even watch the videos with you on telly. I use YouTube for crafts. There we go. I think it's a good idea to ban everything. Okay. You could restrict some content, but keep other content. It's so difficult, though, isn't it? It's so difficult. Which content are you keeping? Someone could label it and it's completely different. I get your point and I agree with you. I'm an educational content creator. I do self-help videos for year sixes, year sevens going to high school, year sixes doing their stats, GCSEs, and I'm sitting here about to lose a good whack of those people and I feel really sorry for them. But I could still contact the parents and say, look, this is going to help them. Carl is back in the super chat, everyone. Let's go straight to that super chat. I meant more from well-being. I do apologise if I didn't read that wrong. There's a little bit of an issue on the writing. I meant more from well-being, POV. During A-levels and GCSEs, we were all supported each other enormously. Will it make kids reluctant to access child? That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't think so. I think they might cut. I think they might still use things like Childline. I think what YouTube does bring is an open platform where people can talk about like-minded things, about how they're feeling about doing their GCSEs or A-level strategies for revision, point of view from how an exam went, the relief where someone said, "No, I put A too, and I got it wrong." So it's really tricky. It's a really tricky concept, but I could see your point there. Um, a lot of young people use YouTube in which way to communicate with each other. That can be seen as a negative. I think there are other ways, of course, but that if you're a very communicative person, you can still use YouTube. Yes, that's great. But if you then take it away, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I get your point though, Carl. I really do. Thank you for so much for the super chat, Carl. Great conversation from you. Just like a teen mode or something that restricts some videos. Yeah, again, but we do have that on YouTube. YouTube has this. I don't know about the other apps as well. I don't know what Instagram and TikTok are like as much. I know TikTok has restrictive things about times, how long people can watch them, but YouTube has restricted content. And I don't think parents and probably some people in government haven't actually looked deeper into how you use this app because we do with my daughter perfectly. We don't have an issue with it. We told her about the ban today. She's like, okay, fine, I accept it. It's not great, because she has stuff going on, but she will look for other things. We know what her interests are. But I feel for her because she uses the app sensibly. I listen, I watch the trends she gets to. We do dance routines together. I like that. So I'm sad that we won't get to have that, but we can do other things. Of course we do. We do loads of things, my daughter. We play football, we go roller skating, we go on bike rides, we play football in the garden. We do so much here. We're shopping. We do baking together. Mainly though, with the baking is because on YouTube she's seen something, and then she goes, "Oh, I want to go make this because I saw this on a YouTube short." I'm like, "That's actually quite clever." So do you see what I mean? It can connect in a positive way. But YouTube has these restrictions that you can put in place. Someone has donated, and I dare not miss it. Right, Satin Gamer. You use YouTube for video gameplay, tech videos, and modding. Yeah, loads of people love it for that, don't they? Thank you so much. They do, giving that a like. Yeah, they do. YouTube's used for video gaming as well, gameplay. I've seen that done for years. I've really enjoyed the content. I think if you could blurt out a few expletives, absolutely I would. I would look at the game itself if it's a certain PG rating. Again, yeah, it's all about restrictions and just working together. So that's why I think YouTube, the government, they're all going to sit down. This 6 months is a long time. It isn't just going to happen overnight. It isn't. And he said spring. So you've still got January and February, March, where you're still people have up to 2027 on it. And then you get to April, May, and June, where yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Like, who is actually going to, are they going to sit down with these apps and talk about it? I think they will. I cannot see this is just it. I think everybody should peacefully protest on why YouTube is safe for children and how it could be affected in different ways. Yeah, I think people are. There's a petition. I think safe protest. I think petitioning is a good thing to do. Um, I I I could see a lot of people getting upset about that. I would say though there are reasons why. There are other flip sides to this about how you can make a video and people can say mean things, but I do see YouTube. I've seen so many times when people said something about my stuff. YouTube have been there, like they just put this is not a nice comment. You're not going to see that. They're doing it right now in my chat. There's someone saying some stuff. It's restricted it. They're doing that, but are the other apps doing it? I don't think so. And that's the blanket ban kind of thing. It's a tricky one. I'm going to miss you so much. Look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to. I still got my other audience. Now, look, you can tell your parents about my channel. I think that's a really good conversation. I hope you would have done. I hope you go, oh, I watch this stupid teacher from Norwich once or twice a month, once a week, every day, whatever. And he makes me laugh. I think he's a bit of an idiot. But you know what? He did a good video the other day. It really helped me with my GCSEs. Or I packed my bag the night before for my SATs. Can I tell you something, right? I know some of you aren't doing your SATs right now, but the greatest moment in my time on this amazing app was helping year sixes. And I can tell you that having parents come up to me in Norwich, message me online, actual parents saying my kid got up early, or before they went to bed, they packed the bag the night before. I've never seen them do it before. And they enjoyed their SATs. They had a good end of year. They've transitioned to high school really well. They're now doing their GCSEs and they're okay. They understand it's not all the time you're going to pass, and they've accepted maybe not passed this time. That's the greatest moment for me. Honest to God. I got an amazing plaque from YouTube, getting that gold plaque. I would have got that without you guys. I'm hardly going to be like, see ya. It's tough for me. It's really tough. But I also understand from the government's position. I do. I get from loads of different angles as a teacher, as a parent, as a neutral. It's tough. So I will miss that effect that I can have. But I'm hoping those of you won't see it, your parents will. Tell them about my account. Tell your parents about my account so you can sign up with it with your parents and you guys can watch me. Please put me on the telly. Put me on the telly and so your parents go, oh, I remember that. I remember doing that at discos. You'll have a laugh. It'll definitely open a conversation. What do you think? YouTube gets banned partly because there are some inappropriate bots. Yes, that is one of the cases, the site. But even if there are mods, more said bots than kids, we're all human and suffer from it. Yes, that's true. I mean, there are mods. That is something that YouTube would obviously work on. And I think they will. I think YouTube and TikTok and Instagram are going to have to go, well, we've got to do some more stuff here. They obviously need more. So they'll up the game as much as they can. Of course they will. What else? Guys, great stuff tonight. The comments have been amazing. I'm so upset. I love watching you on YouTube. I use it carefully and don't watch stuff that I'm not supposed to. And I'm gonna miss watching you and your lives. And I got my history test back 45%. Well done, 40%. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Still work to go. But you know what? You can still watch my content through your parents. If you speak to your parents, they can set up an account with you. They watch it with you. That's the safe way. That's my message. It doesn't have to end. You can watch this with your parents. Show them what content creators you love watching. Show them the material that you like learning from. They will understand that. And then put it on the telly so they can see what you're up to. I think that's the best way forward. That's such an open way, right? As a parent, that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's what's going to work. As I'm shy, social media helps me communicate with people without feeling awkward. It also helps me get into hobbies and learn new things. Plus, I have a new channel with 6K subs. George and the Trange, 6K subs is amazing. But let me know you something, right? Your argument before was wonderful. I'm not worried about how many subs you got. That is an incredible achievement, by the way. But I'm not here for the subs. I'm here for your other comments. It is a great way of communicating. Yes, some people see this as restrictive. I get that. No eye contact, no body language, not conversing. But some kids will build up those strengths in communication. Yes, I can see that. Others might not, though. Others might go, actually, I just want to spend time on my phone. I see this week in, week out. I go to restaurants. I see kids immediately on their phone. I'm like, sit up, be part of the conversation. But I'm talking to my friends. Yeah, but your family and friends are here. So there's one side of that. But then there's others who build up that strength. So then when they do go out, they can have a conversation. They can talk. They have built up friendships. But like the hobbies bit, I get the hobbies, why people have hobbies and stuff. So yeah, interesting. Well done with the 6K subs though. Okay. Hey Tommy, I finished my GCSEs. Congratulations on everyone. I feel like it's overshadowed all the GCSE students a little bit, this news today, but congratulations for completing your GCSEs. That is outstanding. Last day at school was today, and I have no idea what to do until college now. Well, I'll tell you what, gap summer break. So you're 16, you can go get a job. I would literally single-handedly knock on every local shop and say, do you need some work this summer? You could do gardening, you could wash people's cars, do something. Do not sit at home. Make sure you get some study time in there as well. A few little, now and again, pick up the books if you're going into college for your college courses. Think about that. But you will find something. There is always stuff to do. And if not, worst case scenario, ask your mum and dad, say, how can I help around the house? What we got here? The point of this twofold. Firstly, to reclaim face for Starmer and his government, to look competent, and also to provide Palatine with more data and money. Okay, that's interesting. It's your opinion, that one. That's a big one. The point of this is, okay, I've read that one. That's an interesting point of view. I like the diverseness of this conversation. It's very good. Guys, the conversation has been brilliant tonight. The school use, what's it say? The school use it for learning. Yeah, now, teachers shouldn't be relying on YouTube too much, though. We can't just put a whole YouTube video up all the time. But I do see multiple times people use YouTube for certain content thing. I get that for little snippets. Of course they do. It's educational. That's why I like using YouTube myself. I'm saying like perplexed. I'm like, Yes, there are bots, and yes, there can be mean people. Let's work on that. Let's work on that. Let's talk about that. But there's a lot that outweighs some good stuff on YouTube. I'm not talking about TikTok and Instagram. I'm not. This is solely about what I feel about YouTube. I'm very positive towards YouTube. I've been using YouTube since I was your age. That's the joke. And I personally not been affected, but I'm a different person. Everyone's different, and I have to respect that as well. So you see, I'm like, where's your opinion, Tommy? It's difficult. It's a difficult argument because you could have. Haven't had someone on here, but there are a lot of reasons why I'm like very respectful towards some of the parents who on the BBC article today because they sadly have lost a lot. And I totally would back away from an argument with them because it's to do with their kids. I get it. Hello, I'm sorry, this isn't related, but in your history class, has anyone ever said that left past be the past? Let past be the past. No. How dare they? You can't say let past be the past. You have to learn from the past. We're going to learn from this. This will be history. Gonna be real. I'd rather have restricted scrolling time to actually do hobbies instead of being completely banned. Ah, there we go. Love it. Okay, alternative argument. Here's the ban. Okay, the UK government, you're saying that instead of banning YouTube completely for under-16s, I get it. You're saying they should do what they're doing 16 to 18. You're saying they should restrict the amount of time. That's interesting. Hard for me to argue against that one as well. Sadly, and this isn't just YouTube. Lots of my students are on online a lot. There was a kid on the BBC today. It's absolutely hilarious. They said, how do you feel about the ban? They're like, well, I'm going to lose about 6 hours, 7 hours, no, 9 hours worth of phone time over the weekend. And they said, what else are you going to do? I went, stare at a wall. I mean, it was hilarious. It was funny. But that's a lot of screen time. That's 4.5 hours a day. But then they might just be playing music. I don't know. It's like, were they watching a series? It's difficult. One of my favorite content creators on YouTube is the guy. You guys are going to know this. Who's going to get the name first? He's so cool. I think he's stopped now, and he used to do this with his son. It's the guy who just goes out and builds an igloo in the middle of nowhere. He's like, I'm just going to build an igloo. Here we go. American guy or Canadian. He's amazing. I learned so much about how to build an igloo in the wilderness. The guy's incredible. And he took his kid with him as well. You're going to like, I know who that is. I know who that is. We're not cooked. We're not cooked. I actually watch those videos with my son. He thinks he's unbelievable. I love him. Yeah, I love that guy too. He's amazing. Yes, someone said the name. Outdoor Boys. Oh, Outdoor Boys. What amazing content creator we're going to lose. Don't get me started on Mr. Beast. We're gonna miss Mr. Beast, right? It's crazy. Obviously, people will still see Mr. Beast, but if you're under 16, you won't, according to the government's thing. Matt Long says, fine with losing scrolling, as I admit it's unhealthy, but long-term videos is what we need to keep. What's a good one? It's a good one. See, YouTube has the long form. None of them have the long form. YouTube has long form content, which is absolutely amazing if you're watching the right stuff. Like Outdoor Boys, that long form is sick. It's so good. And if I was growing up and I didn't watch that, I'd have been gutted. I've watched that guy for a lot. I have. I think it's brilliant. But yes, the doom scrolling bit, I do get. I do understand where people are coming from with that. I do get. So yeah, restrict the time. Restrict the time. I hear that. A lot of people say just close the time down. But again, YouTube already had this as an option. It's that's the bit that's baffling me. Is that it'd be parents saying, well, they could restrict the time. They already have that. They already have that. Did you do that with your kid? No. Oh, I felt like someone had a big argument there. However, there are some really bad stuff online. My friend was on this app where you could meet people and become friends, but yesterday she saw someone on there who didn't. Yeah, see, yeah, there is that in an essence. I don't think it was on YouTube though, was it? But that's the problem. There's always that one group or something like that will ruin it for the rest of what is actually on there. It's different. It's such a difficult conversation. It really is. Right, guys, I am going to be back on Wednesday. Hopefully, this is going to be an interesting conversation. It's still going to be on. I want you to know something, though, and I did promise this at the start. I will be doing a video on my reaction, not about this, but towards this. hitting it right on, which is, okay, if they're going to ban this, fine. What can we do here, right? But what can we do moving forward? And my content is going to be about how you can speak to your parents about this and show them what you're interested in, show them your hobbies, show them your interests, show them the content creators that you like to watch. Hello, and say, look, okay, the band's happening, but can we have an account on the telly that I watch, you keep an eye on, we watch together, and understand the hobbies. That's going to be in the content. It's going to help parents, it's going to help you. I'm here to help. That's what I've always been here to do. And to make the most ridiculous YouTube shorts. Ta-da! But thank you for tonight. Thank you to the people who super chat as well. Great conversation. And thanks to all your amazing comments too. I wish you all the best. There's a lot more coming from this story. It doesn't take effect till spring 2027 at the moment, but I think there's a lot more to come. I really do. I think it's a bigger story coming here, and I think we're all going to see that from these companies. We'll see. Take care, everybody, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you for a great live session.